The car was never just a machine. It was freedom. It was adventure. It was the heartbeat of an entire generation. For millions of Americans, the automobile was the key that unlocked the open road and the promise of endless horizons. When you turned the ignition, you were not simply starting an engine. You were awakening a dream of independence, of discovery, of journeys that stretched far beyond the familiar streets of your neighborhood. The car carried with it the spirit of possibility, the thrill of motion, and the joy of belonging to a time when the road itself seemed to invite you forward. In the golden decades of the mid-20th century, cars became more than transportation. They were companions, symbols, and storytellers. Families loaded their station wagons with suitcases, picnic baskets, and children eager for adventure. The highways became rivers of memory, flowing with laughter, songs from the radio, and the simple pleasure of watching the landscape change mile after mile. Every stop at a roadside diner, every pause at a gas station, every moment of unfolding a paper map was part of the ritual of discovery. The car was the vessel that carried families into the heart of America, weaving together experiences that would be remembered for a lifetime. For the young, the car was a declaration of identity. A Mustang parked in the driveway was not just a vehicle, it was a badge of pride, a statement of individuality. A Camaro roaring down the boulevard was more than horsepower. It was rebellion, energy, and the thrill of youth. The Charger, with its muscular lines and powerful engine, embodied the restless spirit of a generation that longed to break free from limits. These cars were not silent machines. They spoke loudly, with the growl of their engines and the gleam of their chrome, telling the world that freedom was not just an idea. It was something you could hold in your hands, something you could drive. The car was also a stage for music, for romance, for friendship. Radios filled the cabins with rock and roll, with the voices of Elvis, the Beach Boys, and countless others who turned the road into a soundtrack of joy. Couples found privacy in the back seat. Friendships were sealed on long drives, and dreams were whispered while the tires hummed against the asphalt. The car was a place where life unfolded, where stories were written, where emotions were felt deeply and shared freely. It was a moving sanctuary, a place where the world outside could be left behind and the world inside could be cherished. The open road itself was a symbol of hope. Highways stretched across the country, connecting towns, cities, and lives. Gas was cheap, the horizon was wide, and the sense of possibility was endless. To drive was to explore, to wander, to discover. The car gave ordinary people the extraordinary gift of mobility, the chance to see mountains, oceans, deserts, and plains, all from the comfort of a seat that felt like home. The road was not just pavement, it was a canvas, and every journey painted a new picture of freedom. Cars carried more than passengers. They carried dreams. They carried the pride of ownership, the joy of achievement, the thrill of progress. They carried the spirit of America itself, a spirit that believed in moving forward, in reaching higher, in never standing still. The gleaming chrome, the polished paint, the roar of the engine were all part of a language that spoke of hope, ambition, and the desire to live fully. To drive was to participate in that language, to join in the chorus of freedom that echoed across the highways. Even today, when cars have changed and technology has transformed the way we travel, the memories remain. The feeling of gripping the steering wheel for the first time, the excitement of a road trip with friends, the quiet satisfaction of arriving at a destination after hours of driving, these are moments that live forever in the heart. The car may evolve, but the essence of freedom it represents endures. It is a reminder of who we were, of what we dreamed, of how we lived. The car was never just steel and rubber. It was emotion. It was connection. It was the embodiment of a time when life felt open and full of promise. It was the laughter of children in the back seat, the music drifting through the speakers, the kiss stolen at a stoplight, the pride of polishing the hood on a Sunday afternoon. It was the symbol of a nation that believed in the road, in the journey, in the adventure of living. It was freedom, pure and simple, and it was ours. Come with us on this journey. Return to the days when every mile was a story, when every ride was a taste of freedom. When the car was more than a machine, it was a companion of the soul. Let us relive the roar of the Mustang, the shine of the Camaro, the power of the Charger. Let us remember the families, the friends, the lovers who found joy on the road. Let us celebrate the spirit of America that lived in every engine, every wheel, every journey. The road is calling once again, and the memories are waiting. Join us and feel the freedom that never